Thank you, Adrian, and a very good evening to you. We've seen 22 of the 24 candidates for European champions. Now a look at the final two. Portugal, the 2016 winners, led by their veteran talisman. Nobody in the history of this tournament can match Cristiano Ronaldo's numbers. And then one major success came on a day when an early injury cast the biggest of stars in a supplementary role. 20 years after he first played in the Euros, he hopes for the glorious swan song. But opinion remains divided whether his continued selection is a help or a hindrance. First up for Ronaldo and co, the Czechs. On paper, the toughest of Portugal's group opponents, quietly rebuilding and finding form. There's history between the two on the European stage, and the Portuguese have the better of it, but there's been a marked improvement in Czech fortune since a heavy defeat on home soil to the Seleção 18 months ago, with the tournament's youngest squad coming into tonight on the back of 5 straight wins. Now there's plenty of dissenting voices about how Portugal might line up tonight. Diogo Costa in goal. The general consensus is it will be a back three, although whether it's Dalot or Nuno Mendes that takes his place in the three will remain to see. They warmed up as a four. Could be Diaz, Pepe and Nuno Mendes, with Dalot and Cancelo at wing back, Bruno Fernandes and Vitinha in the heart of midfield, Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo and Rafael Leao up front. Staniak in goal for the Czechs. Holeš, Haranaj and Krejci. Sofal, Souček, Probot, Dojera, and then Schultz behind Schick and Kuchta. Two nations who've both won and lost the Euros final, starting their journey in search of another. History and a stellar cast list favours Portugal, but the perception they struggle against better opposition will be examined in depth by the improving Czechs. Marco Guida, the referee, is waiting to give the signal to get this game underway. Portugal red shirts, green shorts kick from right to left, and the Czechs in their change kit of all white. Long ball forward played by Nuno Mendes, and straight away the Czechs on the front foot with Schultz working the ball down the right hand side for Vladimir Sofal. Challenge comes in from Nuno Mendes to try and win it back. Sofal poking it forward, and Patrick Schick will be able to take over and is given a little shove. His heat referee says no foul, and the ball is cleared by Bruno Fernandes down by his own corner flag. Picked up though by Souček. Good start by the Czechs, good possession in and around the edge of the Portuguese box. Sofal doing well as Bruno Fernandes put the challenge in on him. He's maintained possession, finds his close friend Souček, and the return ball was just overhit and rolls over the dead ball line and out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by the Portuguese goalkeeper Diogo Costa. A minute in here in Leipzig, it is going to absolutely leather it down with rain anytime soon. At the moment it's dry. I'm delighted to say we're in the company, you and I, of Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, super start there by the Czechs. Turn the ball over at centre midfield and forage down this right hand side. Sofal, Souček and Schick done extremely well interchange, and then Souček just got his pass wrong, overcooked it.
So Nuno Mendes is playing on the left of three centre-halves, ordinarily a left-back, but he's playing on the left. Pepe at 41 playing as the sweeper, and Diaz on the right. Diogo Dalot as the right wing-back, and João Cancelo as the left wing-back, but he will play quite narrow indeed. He's actually on the other side of the centre circle at the moment. Ball played back for Diogo Costa again. Out from him to Nuno Mendes. Mendes, the PSG defender, who turns 22 tomorrow. And just rotating the ball in the midfield with João Cancelo. Back now for Pepe. Porto man, 138th cap for him today. Forward towards Rafael Leao on the left of the front three. Good ball from Bruno Fernandes inside the penalty area, chipped into space, but it'll bounce on the edge of the 6-yard box and roll innocuously over the dead ball line for a goal kick that Yuri Staniak will take. It's 0-0 with 2.5 minutes gone. You with Talk Sport.
Yeah, I'm liking the fluidity of the Portuguese side, good interaction in the midfield, playing through the thirds, but the movement of the players very, very good and very difficult for the Czechs to keep hold of.
Earlier game in this group today, a thriller, finished Turkey 3, Georgia 1. Tomorrow we've got 2 more games for you. Croatia defeat to Albania could see them eliminated before their final match. They meet at 2 tomorrow on TalkSport 2, and then 2 games here on TalkSport. The second match is from Group A. Scotland facing the Swiss at 8, trying to bounce back from that opening defeat. As Bruno Fernandes works the ball inside the penalty area here, Dalot chasing after it, can't keep it in. And we've also got Germany against Hungary at 5 tomorrow. The hosts and Switzerland can both qualify if they win their games and the other one doesn't lose. So it's Germany-Hungary at 5 in Stuttgart on TalkSport, followed by Scotland, Switzerland in Cologne at 8. That also on TalkSport for you tomorrow. As the Czechs bring the ball forward. Goes into the feet of Patrick Schick to Schultz on the left-hand side of the area. Right-footed shot from him was blocked. Portuguese appeals that the ball hit his arm. And the referee Marco Guida in a very good position to spot that contact, has given a free kick. Portugal's way on the edge of the box. Schultz, who was sent off in the Czech Cup final, winning just his 4th cap tonight. It's his competitive debut for his country. Really highly regarded, the 23-year-old, who, like several of his teammates, still plays his club football in the Czech domestic league, is with Victoria Plzeň. Is Vitinha, who once scored an FA Cup goal at Chorley, and I'm prepared to bet that there aren't too many other players in this particular European Championship that can boast that. He's got it again now. Right-footed ball clipped through the midfield from the former Wolves man. Now to Ruben Dias. Dias to Dalot. Back past Dias again to Vitinha in the midfield with a shock of dark hair. Able to turn and work it out towards the right-hand side for Bernardo Silva. Ronaldo just dropping deep, wanting the ball in defeat. Schultz keeping an eye on him. It's Silva that has it. Now plays it out towards the right-hand side for Dalot, who just tried a little injection of pace and a drop of the shoulder to work the ball down the right flank, but he couldn't get across it. It's blocked and goes out of play for a throw.
Yeah, I'm interested looking at this Portuguese lineup. Leao's playing very wide on the left-hand side, and Ronaldo's holding his width sort of tucked in the sort of inside right position, and that's encouraging the likes of Fernandes and Bernardo Silva to make those runs through the middle of the back line, and they're the ones looking at getting behind.
Yeah, it's a very lopsided front three that Portugal are playing, with Bernardo Silva on the right, Leao as H2 holding his whip on the left, and he's the target of a ball play forward here, but Safal slides out of play for the first corner of the night.
Yeah, good ball inside there of Sufal, and he had to be on the move. Leao darted in behind him, but Sufal probably had a bit more time than he actually let on. He just helped it behind for the first corner of the game,
which Vitinha will come across to take. Pepe's made his way forward. Cristiano Ronaldo lurking with intent near the penalty spot. Vitinha 3 steps towards the ball, flights it outside the penalty area where it was easily headed away by Safal. Portugal are able to win the seconds and will work it back to their goalkeeper ably enough. It was Dias that got there ahead of Schick on halfway. Play forward towards Bruno Fernandes, has covered a lot of ground to show for the ball just outside the penalty area. Now down towards Vitinha again. Arcs one with the inside of the right boot down towards Leao. Leao can't get the better of Holesh, and goalkeeper Staniek able to clear. Nuno Mendes with a header that wasn't the best. The Czechs just temporarily picked it up in the midfield. And then Schick with a lovely turn has been able to buy his side a little bit of time and some space, and so Czech can get it forward now for Schultz. Outside him, De Gea making his way forward. He will control it and work it straight back inside his own half for Hadanac to Krejci on the left of the 3 centre halves. And Krejci brings the ball towards the edge of the centre circle. Good possession from the Czechs when they've had it. They haven't got a very good record against top 10 opposition in the world. Portugal are ranked 6, and the Czechs have only won 1 game against top 10 opposition out of 12 in the last 5 years. They've lost 10 of the other 11, so they will be looking at the remaining games in this group. They take on Georgia and Hamburg on Saturday, and then the Turks and Hamburg a week tomorrow as their passport to the knockout stages. But they've started well here as Leao comes inside. ball inside the area, and the header from Ronaldo off balance drifts wide. Let's move the game.
It certainly was. Leao done brilliant, cutting out a crossfield pass. He was the one who set it up. He was the one who cut inside, and his cross was decent. And Ronaldo just almost got up too soon and had to stoop down to try and generate power, and he just couldn't get his head round it well enough.
Scored 10 goals in the 9 games in qualifying, more than anybody else in any of the groups. In the competition itself, 11 goals in 14 matches in the group stages, which is a remarkable record in tournament football. Another 3 knockout goals. He's scored 22 tournament goals all told. He's scored in every tournament in which he's ever played. Ball played down the left-hand side of the Czech penalty area and chased after by Kuchta. But it just rolled through towards Diogo Costa. It's 0-0 with 8.5 gone.
He's impressed me, Schick, so far in this game. I think he's done really well in his hold-up play, his link play, and he's been a bit of a threat, linking obviously runners coming from midfield for the Czechs.
Pepe plays it forward. And João Cancelo is able just to work the ball back through the midfield, playing at left wing back. Pepe now out towards Diaz. Dalot, back for Diaz again. He's near the edge of his own penalty area, but he's able to control it. Work the ball forward down the Portuguese right-hand side. Bernardo Silva's dropped that little bit deeper to influence the play. Bruno Fernandes playing in a deeper role for his country than he often does for Manchester United. He's alongside Vitinha in the heart of the midfield. Now the ball played down towards João Cancelo. Cancelo turning it down to the left. Nuno Mendes invited forward. Bring it 10 yards inside Czech territory before checking and working the ball back inside of Silva. Ronaldo. He goes back towards halfway for his former Real Madrid teammate Pepe. Now Vitinha, smallest man on the Portuguese team, turning one way then the other. A big bolt of lightning visible over the roof of the curved stand on the far side. The rain is here and will be biblical shortly. Ball on the right-hand side of the Czech midfield. Excellent play by Lucas Provod, who then, having beaten Pepe, saw a slightly loose touch, put the ball over the line and out of play for a goal kick. 0-0.
Well, the pattern of the game, Jim, as we've seen now, slow, determined build-up by the Portuguese, but as soon as that ball's turned over, any interception, the Czechs go straight after Portugal. Good balls in behind, which they played on 2 or 3 occasions now.
Nuno Mendes is trying to slide down the inside left channel. Cristiano Ronaldo chasing after it, has still got a real turn of pace. And it's claiming that he was pushed in the back there. The referee says Havertz doesn't have a case to answer. And it's going to be a throw to restart play for the Czechs rather than a Portuguese free kick right on the edge of the box. Very menacing dark skies overhead. The red lighting on the underside of the roof on the far touchline, lighting up proceedings here as well, with the rain really coming down and put a zip on the surface. Here's Ronaldo. Clever little flick from his right foot to his left, playing in Rafael Leao, level with the edge of the Czech box. He's taking on Safal, he's beaten him, he's inside the penalty area, slides it across the edge of the 6-yard box. Nobody there to tap it over the line. Czech couldn't bring it away. They'll come again with Nuno Mendes. Now it's play back for Ruben Diaz. Everybody apart from Diogo Costa is in the Czech half of the field. Bruno Fernandes flighting it in, it's too hot, and the right-footed cross ends up in the hands of Staniek, and it remains 0-0, but an entertaining start.
Well, it certainly does. Leao looks like the one who's going to open things up on this left-hand side for Portugal. He's one-on-one situations with Sufel will certainly cause the odd problem this early on, and Holesh as well has been at full stretch against him.
Ronaldo's gone down again and stays down. Czech working more down the Czech right. Portugal have one possession back. Ronaldo now getting back to his feet in an offside position at the moment. Play continues, and the Portuguese bringing it forward towards the end of the ground, away to our left that houses the Czech support. Haven't had too long a journey. It's only about 75-80 miles from the Czech border, southeast of here. All played inside the penalty area. And Souček is there, able to clear and mop up and go back to his goalkeeper, and Staniek will put his foot through it to find halfway. Either side able to create a really clear-cut goal-scoring opportunity through the opening 13 goalless minutes. Another game in this group earlier, Turkey winning a thriller 3-1 against Georgia, which includes certainly a candidate for the goal of the tournament. Ball over on the left-hand side of the Czech defence, and they've cleared it, but sliced straight out of play. The ball from De Gea giving a throw to Portugal midway inside the Czech half.
The Czech team at the moment, Jim, have been guilty of giving possession away when they do drop back deep and turn it over. They've got to be a little bit more clinical, keep possession, get their team up the pitch a little bit more.
That was a shot in the back of Bruno Fernandes as he was waiting for a throw to come his way, and not happy at all about it, complaining that it was a little bit too agricultural from Thomas Souček, who leant into it, tried to win the ball and pushed his man to the ground. 13 gone at 0-0. Nuno Mendes down to the Portuguese left-hand side again. Rafael Leao for Cristiano Ronaldo. That familiar little half step over. Steps over the top of the ball with his right foot, then rolls the ball with the studs of his right boot just to move it away from the defender. Coutinho's got it. Coutinho flipping it straight at the referee, so that'll be a restart and a drop ball to Portugal. About 20 yards or so outside the Czech penalty area. 15 games under Martinez, they won 13 of them, but have lost a couple of friendlies this year against Slovenia and Croatia, which has caused concern for Portuguese fans. Nuno Mendes sends it across, that causes no concern for the Czechs. Just drifts straight out of play, in about 10 yards too far forward, and now for a goal kick which will be taken by Staniek. Well, the rain continues to come down and does so with increasing ferocity. The nearby airport here in Leipzig was shut about half an hour or so ago. We're expecting that this rain is set in now for a good couple of hours or so, and it's coming down so much you just wonder whether it is going to have ultimately an effect on the playing surface. It certainly isn't going to need to be watered at half time. Ball play forward by João Cancelo. Portugal on the front foot as they've been since about the 3rd, 4th minute. Rafael Leao came off the bench to score a couple of goals in the last World Cup, starting his first game in the tournament tonight. Back from him to Pepe and to Ruben Dias, the Manchester City man controlling it near the edge of the centre circle, working back for Pepe. The Portuguese will bring it forward towards the edge of the penalty area again with Nuno Mendes. Good quick feet from João Cancelo. White shirts just drop off, converge around him, but won't allow him the opportunity to play through a little mini press from the back. Back he goes from Leao. The Czech supporters away to our left-hand side, bobbing up and down. I think they'll be quite happy with what they've seen so far, albeit that much of their good work has been done in a defensive capacity. Coutinho. Back from Gonzalo Ramos. Another fork of lightning overhead. In from Nuno Mendes. Now towards the edge of the penalty area. Ruben Dias. Dallo supplying the width from wing-back. Back from him. Bruno Fernandes. Thought about a first-time cross. Cleverly shapes the ball to Nuno Mendes. Left-footed effort from him. High and some way wide. Out of play for a goal kick. 16 gone on TalkSport. 0-0. Here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, Mendes having a shot from distance here. I don't think it's such a bad idea. The rain's coming down. The pitch is very slippery. I think it was worth a dib. I think for Portugal to improve, they need to get players in the box. As you mentioned earlier, Ronaldo can be a little bit wayward with his positional play, and they lack players between the goalposts when the ball comes in. Their most effective player, Leao, on the left-hand side, and the Czechs need to keep possession of the ball slightly better than they actually are on turnover.
So a big responsibility with that in mind, Stu, when Ronaldo's dropping off, almost playing at times like a false nine. Bernardo Silva and Leao wide of him. They need to get Bruno Fernandes to make his way forward along with Coutinho, but their starting position's pretty deep in the centre of midfield.
Yeah, as I say, they're only getting there on a slow build-up. They need to get there, probably break their necks on sort of a quicker build-up, if you like. And certainly Cancelo as well can play his part in getting forward.
A big game for Scotland tomorrow, of course. They take on the Swiss in Cologne at 8 o'clock. Looking ahead to that one tomorrow morning, Jim White and Simon Jordan live from Dusseldorf. Their programme, as always, at 10. White and Jordan joined by the former West Ham manager David Moyes. And that Scotland game will be front and centre. You can absolutely guarantee that.
I'm looking forward to that one. You know, Shaban's done some absolutely wonderful work in the build-up to it, so it should be some game.
18 minutes gone at 0-0. They're coming towards the edge of the D with Diogo Costa, and he's just stopped just for a moment. He's waiting to see what the Czechs were going to do in terms of a press. In the end, he clips it down towards the left-hand side. Good strong running here from Nuno Mendes, forward from centre-half. Lays it off for Vitinha. Vitinha passing it to the right-hand side of the penalty area. Now pulled back for Bruno Fernandes, who again resists the temptation for a first-time cross. Worked it in cleverly into the feet of Dalot. Vitinha picks it up. Right-hand side of the penalty area, and Ronaldo is waiting for a Dalot cross. Ronaldo stretches, can't reach it. Doesn't get as far as Leao. And the Czechs will be able to get it away. Kuchta's headed back outside the penalty area. Back he comes in again. Safal might have let that go. Didn't get a shout in time. Swivels and turns a header away for another Portuguese corner.
And the Czech back line looking at full stretch. They really are. And to be honest with you, I can't see them keeping Portugal out for the duration of this game.
Just one defeat in 14 matches for the Czechs coming into this, and the new head coach Ivan Hašek, who was appointed in January, remains unbeaten, indeed unbeaten through his two spells as the national head coach. Corner to defend here. Vitinha swinging it in from the left, headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box by Safal, and then turned down the left-hand touchline for the Czechs. An opportunity to bring it forward with De Gea. But the whistle has gone as the ball has just gone out of play for a throw over on the far touchline. It's a Portuguese ball. 20 minutes in, they've been the better team, but nothing to show for it as yet, and still unable to work Yuri Staniak. It's been a tournament of some very early goals so far, but not too many signs of one here, albeit that it's been a really watchable opening quarter of the game.
Oh, it's been an exciting opening. The Czechs started the game very well. Since then, Portugal have wrestled the ascendancy away from them, and they're the ones looking to build up and popping a few crosses in the box that have caused the odd problem.
Bruno Fernandes is in possession. It's working back inside his own half again. Now Pepe with an opportunity to bring it forward. Pepe's got a few goals in major tournaments. He's netted at 4 separate major tournaments, bearing in mind a few players he can play at 4. To do that as a centre-half is some record. 74-26 the possession in Portugal's favour at the moment, but neither side have been able to force a shot on goal inside the opening 21 minutes here on TalkSport, where the score, surprisingly therefore, remains 0-0. Vitinha turning it to his left-hand side, to Cancelo, back to Nuno Mendes. Ronaldo able to pick it up. Ronaldo thought about a shot from huge distance out, still got it, takes it down towards the byline, down by the left-hand corner flag. Another couple of trademark jittery step-overs, then back for Rafael Leao again. Leao to Nuno Mendes, good turn by Vitinha. Vitinha working it across the edge of the penalty area. Diaz coming onto it, got it under control, right for his shot, hits Schultz and deflects away for a corner.
Yeah, if they're nothing, they're dogged the Czechs, and it was Schultz on that occasion who roared out and managed to get a decent block.
Corner taken short, and they'll get another corner out of it, their 4th, as the Vitinha cross came in and was deflected away.
And once again it was that man Schultz, got out very quickly, and it's those interactions that are going to be important for the Czechs tonight.
Portugal's numbers 3, 4 and 5, Pepe, Diaz and Dalot all waiting by the penalty spot. In it comes. It was Pepe that got the top of his head to it, but it's gone back outside the penalty area of the ball and will be cleared upfield by Kuchta. But the Portuguese have got plenty of time to get back and get there first. It was Cancelo who's on sentry duty at the back, mopping up, getting there ahead of Lucas Provod. And Portugal will quickly change the line of attack from the left down towards the right-hand side. Bernardo Silva brings it forward. Into the feet of Bruno Fernandes. Couldn't take it in his stride. And a slight lack of a first touch from him on that occasion, as the ball was played slightly behind him. He was quickly punished by the Czechs winning it back. They don't have it back for long. Portugal again bringing it forward. Dallo will get there down by the corner flag. Checks and turns it back towards the edge of the penalty area. Now Pepe coming onto it. 40 yards out, so he doesn't let fly. Goes out towards Cancelo. He might have a go. It's taken a couple of deflections and actually barely gets inside the penalty area as a result of the second one. But Portugal winning a lot of the second ball at the moment, and Leao does so on this occasion, the Milan forward. Back from him to Nuno Mendes, who only started a couple of league games all season for PSG. Forward towards Bruno Fernandes. Oh, good dipping effort, only just went over the bar. Took a little nick on its way through, and Portugal get corner number 5.
Yeah, as I say, he's hit it, and the nick has generated a lot of topspin, and it just flew over the top of the bar, and yet another corner from Portugal.
Yeah, it was coming down quickly. Staniak, I'm sure, would have had it covered. This is the 5th corner without reply, with 24 minutes in here in Leipzig. Corner taken short. Back towards Vitinha inside the penalty area. Knocked away easily by Schultz, and the counter-attack might be on for a moment here for Portugal. They've got a body making a run down the right-hand side. It was a really poor attempt from De Gea to try and find Schick. And Schick couldn't hide his dismay, just rolled straight out of play for a throw.
No, I've got to say, I think Schick was responsible for that. I think what he should have done was just set sail and just go as hard as he could in behind Fernandes. He didn't do that. He dallied, he waited for it to feet, and when he did go, it was too late for the pass.
Those are the thoughts of the former England captain Stuart Pearce here on Talk Sport. Second game today, 3 more for you tomorrow, and all 51 for the tournament are here on the Talk Sport network. Portuguese in possession, that's been the way of it all the way through, but they're much deeper as they pick the ball up now. Then it's launched forward. Schick retreating has done well to bring it under control. Scored that 50-yarder at Hampden Park in the last Euros, you'll remember. He's worked it forward here for Schultz. Tried a little reverse ball for Kuchta inside the penalty area. Squirms through the midfield. It's the Fowles ball is a poor one. It's presented it straight for Bernardo Silva. Now there's space over on the Portuguese right, and Silva will play it in. Ball slid inside the penalty area, and Rafael Leao threw himself at it feet first, but couldn't quite stretch far enough to turn it over the line.
Yeah, they got in a real pickle there. The Czech back line, they're all over the place, and when it was slid across the face of the goal from Fernandes, it was a great ball, but probably a couple of ounces too strong for Leao at the far post.
It was a close run thing. I think Gaza in Euro 96 in the semi-finals just couldn't stretch far enough.
I can't remember the last time I saw the Czechs in Portuguese territory, you know, Jim. It's becoming an onslaught, really.
Yeah, they had a solid start, Portugal, rather than a spectacular one, but they have slowly been able to turn the screw. They have been much the better side. In fact, the Czechs so far have only completed 47 passes in 26 minutes. Well, they'll be able to get that up into the low 50s, you would imagine, in this move, as they bring the ball forward now, over on the far touchline. The Czechs in all white, venturing into the Portuguese half. Midway inside of this, Souček lays the ball off to his right-hand side for Provod. Now out towards De Gea. The left wing back wearing 12. Controls it on his left foot, plays it back on his right to centre-half Krejci. Those two exchange a further set of passes before Holeš is played it. Holeš put under pressure, gives it away. Needed Hadanac in behind him to come back and sweep up for him. He then pumps it forward. A suspicion that perhaps Kuchta was offside, but the flag has stayed down. Portugal have got the ball back under control anyway, and they'll be able to bring the ball forward. It's one-way traffic, but still in terms of the XG, next to nothing for Portugal, which Shows that they haven't been able to create anything of any consequence despite dominating in so many areas of the game. 27 gone. Ronaldo is back to the direction of play. Lays it back for his former Manchester United teammate Bruno Fernandes. Play forward now towards Rafael Leao. Leao's first touch works him outside the penalty area. Crossing takes a deflection and a brave chest trap from De Gea. Maybe slightly misguided. Trying to get it back to his goalkeeper. Staniek did get his hands to it. Would have stopped it going in. He had it covered, but it was hit so briskly at him. But there was nothing he could do to prevent the corner, which will be taken by Vitinha over on the Portuguese right. And it's number 6 to approach the half-hour mark here in Leipzig at 0-0. And in front of about 30 or 40 Czech flags over on that far touchline. This corner is going to be swung in by Vitinha. It's an away swinger towards the penalty spot, but not enough on it to get to Ronaldo, and then a good second header won by Schultz after the initial clearing header, and he's been able to get the ball off the island and out of play for a Portuguese throw. They are hanging on, the Czechs, at best.
They certainly are. I don't think they're conceding too many clear-cut chances. They're a genuine team, but lack a bit of quality, and that manifests itself when they're pressurised on the ball, when they give the ball away too cheaply, and Portugal just keep coming and coming and coming. And once again, the old analogy comes, it's like a dam filling up with water. The pressure comes and comes and comes, and eventually it will breach.
Laying it forward for Nuno Mendes. Nuno Mendes on the left of the 3 centre-halves. So much licence for him to come forward. He doesn't have to worry about anything the other way. He's got it again. He's on the edge of the area. Ronaldo just eased out of the flight path of that. Good defending by Halanac. And eventually the Czechs will win a goal kick. They've got to the half-hour mark. This news makes no difference with the clean sheet still intact. Portugal, who average more than 3.5 goals a game in qualification, still unable to find a way through in this one. 0-0 the scoreline at the moment here on TalkSport. Don't forget England back in action Thursday. Adrian and Stuart and myself will be on our way to Frankfurt tomorrow morning. Start the build-up for England's second game in the group. You'll hear it Thursday. It's a 5 o'clock kick-off here on TalkSport. Pepe lays the ball back here inside his own penalty area for Diogo Costa, and the Porto goalkeeper, who's the only one of his countrymen to start all 5 games in the last World Cup, is able to play the ball out of harm's way from the back. Now towards Bruno Fernandes, whose position has almost been undefinable. He's been here, there and everywhere. A real erratic touch map. Looks like a teenager's face, his touch map at the moment. So many spots all over the place. Ball over on the left-hand side with Joao Cancelo, who's done well to get in between 2 Czech players. He thought he was fouled and might have had a case. No foul by Safal. And they'll be able to bring the ball forward, will the Czechs, with Kuchta here on the right-hand touchline. Back from him through the midfield, but away from Souček. Souček stuck out a left foot to try and get the ball from Bernardo Silva. He couldn't manage it. Bruno Fernandes bringing it forward. Leao left-hand side of the area. Tries to open up the angle and get the ball onto his right foot for a shot. He can't manage that. Pirouettes the other way. Drives in a left-footed cross, which is blocked by Holesh. Comes out for Bernardo Silva. Silva then for Vitinha. Vitinha to Cancelo. And Schick eventually comes back from the number 9 position to aid the defensive course. He can stick his foot in and buy his compatriots just a little bit of time. But it's literally just doing that. The pressure eases for no more than 3 or 4 seconds before they come again. Bruno Fernandes slipping it in. Ronaldo with a chance, saved by the left hand of Staniek. Vitinha on the follow-up. Sees Staniek make a more comfortable save, diving to his left-hand side. That nearly Ronaldo's moment. He's flitted in and out of the game, but give him one-sided goal, and it was nearly lethal, albeit might just have been flagged for offside.
Yeah, it was great movement all the same, and the pass itself, almost a diagonal run, straight pass, in he went and hit it on the half turn. Goalkeeper, credit to him, done extremely well. But the Czechs just give the ball away time and time again, even when they're comfortable in the build-up. The odd pass is just encouraging Portugal to keep going forward at them.
So what does Ivan Hašek do to change it? How does he improve the ball retention, possession? Remember, down in the low 20s for the Czechs.
Yeah, indeed. Well, they've got to get numbers building up and working up the pitch together almost, you know. It's almost a case of just show a bit more clarity with your passing a little bit. The odd pass that's gone behind someone or in front of them, and Portugal was straight onto it and straight at the heart of their back line.
It remains 0-0. We've played 32 minutes. Ronaldo reigns abated for the time being. Bruno Fernandes in for Ronaldo again. Back heel flick was divine, and the sliding challenge in the nick of time got the ball away from Vitinha. Brilliant approach play from Ronaldo. Clever little back heel flick into the path of Vitinha, and just clear.
Well, the game at the moment, I remember when I was a kid, I went to watch the Harlem Globetrotters, and it was like Portugal, the Harlem Globetrotters, and the other team are playing patsy to them, and that's what the Czechs are doing at the moment.
It's a 0-0 battering through 33 minutes, but still 0-0. Vitinha, corner of the penalty area, right-footed, swings it in, headed away again, and then hooked, right-footed, over his shoulder by Schultz, who will chase after this gamely. Bruno Fernandes is back and will just clip it easily for João Cancelo. Cancelo down the right-hand side for Diogo Dalot, doing his best Ronaldo impression with the step-overs. Haranaj, off balance but able to clear at the heart of the Czech back line. Gets it to halfway, inevitably it's going to come straight back again. It's a constant wave of red pressure. Real loud thunderclap overhands. Rafael Leao gets the ball under control. Vitinha away from Czech. He's right outside for Ruben Dias. Into the feet of Cristiano Ronaldo. Czechs winning back. De Gea are playing it for. Only to Pepe. Just can't get the ball to stick. Can't string more than 3 or 4 passes together at the moment. Hašek's man. And it feels as though, as Stuart's been saying, it is just a matter of time, an inevitability about Portugal breaking the deadlock sooner rather than later. Vitinha. Rafael Leao on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Injection of pace from him. Checks back inside. Right-footed. He stands it up towards the far post. But Ronaldo had made his run in towards the middle, and Dalot actually had followed him in there. So there was nobody coming in that far post area. And the cross ends up going out of play. 10 minutes ago to half-time. It remains 0-0. Staniak making a good save from Cristiano Ronaldo. It's taken a little bit of time to get going, Ronaldo, but we've seen one excellent move that he got a shot in, and then a sublime little reverse ball inside the penalty area moments later as well.
It's almost the perfect game for him, Jim, to be fair. His team are not defending. He's just got to stay in and around the forward line, and he's getting enough space as well to operate in, and he's just playing a cameo role within the game, and it suits him brilliantly.
Every single game in the Euros so far has seen the deadlock broken before half-time. Only one at a point later than this, which was the game this time yesterday between Austria and France. It's Bruno Fernandes bringing the ball forward into the feet of the edge of the penalty area and cleared. Back out as far as Ruben Dias. Now towards Diogo Dalot coming in off the right flank. Dalot, who made 50 appearances for Manchester United this season, hardly missed a game. Bruno Fernandes, Nuno Mendes, João Cancelo coming in off the left hand side. That's a good ball inside the penalty area. Hollis did well to win it and read it, but the clearance wasn't the best. Safar with a poor touch, and Portugal get it back immediately. Scooped inside the penalty area by Leao, and Haranaj is able to clear and put it out of play for a throw.
It's big trouble now, I think, for the Czechs. Czech has gone down, and I think it's probably some form of muscular problem. Potentially hamstring, maybe sat on the turf, and believe me, that's not the sort of interaction that he does for anything trivial.
Those piercing blue eyes with pain in them as he looked up and communicated with his teammates about the potential severity of this problem. It'll be a massive blow for Ivan Hašek, who lost a player just last week because of injury. Mikhail Sadilek, another central midfielder, and Czech can't continue. That's his first and second choice central midfielders coming into the tournament who he won't be able to call upon. Well, he stayed down inside the penalty area, but the medical staff didn't come on, so he doesn't have to leave the field. He's declared himself fit to continue. Portugal had possession with the throw, and Cancelo works it back through the midfield for Pepe, and Souček's just going to keep an eye and see how he goes, but he's moving really gingerly.
Yeah, in the performance they're playing at the moment, the Czechs, they need him. He covers ground both sideways and back to front, and he fills spaces up in and around the penalty spot, and that's probably where the goal will be scored if they lose Souček.
Ball just rolled under the foot of Bruno Fernandes, possibly guilty of just trying to work out where it was going to go next. Schultz worked down to the right hand side, good play by Hollish to win it back from the retreating Nuno Mendes, and here's Hollish level the edge of the Portuguese penalty area, so far with an opportunity to whip a ball in. Schick attacking it, just couldn't get his head to it. Great cross, and Stuart described it perfectly in the build-up when talking about so far, that late fade that he manages to get on the ball. Schick attacked it, just couldn't get there. Now at the other end, Souček goes shoulder to shoulder with Leao, has fouled him and gets a yellow card, conceding a free kick only about a yard from the corner of the penalty area.
Yeah, we swept from one end of the pitch. We saw Soufal with an absolute perfect cross, and at the other end we thought Souček had been booked for putting his chest across Leao. He actually got out of his way. The referees called it well, and what we rarely see anymore, players getting booked for diving, and I've got to commend the referee.
Yep, the replay showed that it was absolutely correct. Souček got out of the way, Leao took a tumble and looks very sheepish as he makes his way back. He's got a yellow card the first of the night for the dive.
The incredible thing is, if he would have stayed on his feet, he's in the box and he's got a clear run. I don't know what he was thinking, I really don't.
With 39 minutes in, it's 0-0. This the first of the 12 games that we've had in the Euros so far that's got this far without the deadlock being broken. Here's Thomas Souček in the midfield. Bernardo Silva claiming that there was a handball in there by him, but nothing was given. Schultz just able to pick up a little pocket of space in front of Pepe, works into his right hand side for Schick. Kuchta down towards Soufal, time to measure another one of those crosses inside the penalty area, but Diaz heads that one away. Comes down towards Leao, and Leao wins a 50-50 with Soufal and plays it back inside his penalty area for João Cancelo, who can turn and work the ball away. That was really neat and tidy. Bruno Fernandes showing for him, picking up possession and driving forward 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards towards the edge of the Czech penalty area, into the feet of Ronaldo, work wide towards Dallo over on the right hand touchline. Coutinho's in support on the edge of the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes making his way towards the edge of the box. Now Ruben Diaz is there. Play slowed right down, everybody for the Czechs apart from Schick back behind the ball. The Czechs do what they can to condense play in and around the edge of the penalty area, forcing Portugal to work it back, take a step back to come forward, then into the feet of Leao, easily read by Soufal, and he can bring it forward towards halfway, waiting for options to present themselves. Flicks it down the right hand side for Patrick Schick and Bayer Leverkusen, but he tried to be a little bit too cute, and Nuno Mendes has easily won it back. 4 to go to half time.
Just no support with them, both Schick and Soufal. Forage down the right, no support at all, and they were just outnumbered basically, and there lies the problem. If they don't get players up quickly, it runs aground and Portugal come back again.
Nuno Mendes driving it forward, it's repelled straight back to him. Bruno Fernandes will be able to bring the ball into Czech territory. Giving TalkSport 4 to go to half time at 0-0 in Group F, where Turkey beat Georgia 3-1 in a thriller earlier. Vitinha, the referee has to take evasive action as Vitinha drives forward. Marco Guida in his path. Bruno Fernandes trying to work it into the feet of Ronaldo. Clear by Haranac. And out of the left-hand side of the Czech Republic midfield, where De Gea is able to play it forward, but straight to Pepe. Pepe picking it up and trying to siphon it into the path of Bernardo Silva, but that's easily cleared by Haranac on the left-hand side of the three centre-halves. Teixeira, fire a deflection. Staniek, the goalkeeper, had to scamper outside his 6-yard box to bring that under control. Works it forward through the midfield, flicked on by Kuchta, but straight to a man in red, and Joao Cancelo can bring it forward. From him to Vitinha. Vitinha 15 yards inside the Czech Republic half. Ruben Dias. 1-2 between him and Dalot. Portugal's passing accuracy up in the low 90s. By contrast, the Czechs have hardly had any possession when they've had it. Their successful pass rate is in the mid-60s. Which just shows you that they cannot retain possession at all. Something that Hašek will be trying to work on at half-time, because literally the only positive really for Hašek at the moment is that it's still 0-0. Czechia are hanging in there. Ruben Dias. Bernardo Silva just opening up his stride as he makes his way towards the edge of the penalty area. Quick feed on the edge of the box from the Portuguese players again. Vitinha able to pick it up. Vitinha cleverly working the ball with the outside of the right boot for Nuno Mendes. A straight ball chipped over the top. Ronaldo wanted it into feet on the edge of the penalty area. It sailed past everybody and goes out of play for a goal kick that Staniek will take. His clean sheet still intact. 0-0 in the closing moments of the first half.
Yeah, this is one of those games, Jim, why it stays 0-0. We've got a spectacle in our hands. As soon as Portugal score, this game's finished in my eyes, you know. The Czechs have just been so poor at trying to play through any sort of sequence of passing. They give it away, and listen, it plays straight into Portugal's hands. But why it's 0-0, you just never know. If they get the ball wide and deliver crosses like we've seen the two from Soufal already, they've got a chance.
Teixeira. Down towards Schultz. Schultz trying to backheel the ball back into Teixeira's path. Vitinha playing on the edge of the penalty area, immediately put under pressure by Schick and Kuchta. Wins a free kick. Portugal take it quickly. The last minute of the first half, maybe a couple to be added on. Joao Cancelo bringing the ball forward. Down towards Rafael Leao. Leao on the left-hand side of the penalty area. He's in the box, fires it in, and as it takes a deflection, he could have played it again. Instead, he elected to let the ball run out of play for a corner, which is the 8th without reply that Portugal have won.
Yeah, Leao is the one. He really is. He plays the ball. He plays on the width on the left here, and he's the one who can go past people. I'd like to see him do it a touch more often than he actually is, but he still is a big threat.
This corner works short by Bruno Fernandes for Bernardo Silva. Fernandes scooping it across the edge of the penalty area, rolled straight by Cancelo. Ronaldo on the turn, good save. And then cleared by Kuchta on the edge of the penalty area. Good shot from the inside right channel by Cristiano Ronaldo. Well dealt with, right down the middle of the goal. Cancelo back out towards the right hand side again. It's a poor delivery from Dalot, and the Czechs can clear that one easily. Held up by Schick just for a moment and played back as we go into one additional minute at the end of this first half. That's a result for the Czechs, and then Pepe using all his experience, just it's a shot and lets the ball run across and get the better of Schultz and get Portugal going again.
Really poor once again from the Czechs there. Give away a possession, it's just too cheap. You can't do that, not at this standard of football.
Leao inside the penalty area. Ronaldo again wanted the ball defeated. Bypassed him, went into a more central area and was clear. The Czechs will be able to bring it away. Teixeira will hair into Portuguese territory. Absolutely nothing in the way of support. But it does mean that the Czechs get to half-time with the clean sheet still intact. And realistically, it's the best that they could possibly have hoped for. Cristiano Ronaldo has flickered in and out of the game. He's had some nice moments. A couple of shots on target, one of which forced a really good save from Staniek. And an excellent reverse ball in from him as well. Almost caused problems. Portugal dominating in every statistical commodity except for the one that matters. Half-time in Leipzig, it's 0-0. And both sides have a wealth of options that they can call upon, particularly Portugal, but no sign of any changes as yet. That's good news for the Czechs because it means that Thomas Souček is back out for the second half. Portugal lining up Diogo Costa in goal, Dias, Pepe and Nuno Mendes, Dalot, Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha and Cancelo. Bernardo Silva, Ronaldo, Rafael Leao, who's the one player booked. The Czechs, Staniak in goal, Hološ, Haranach and Krejci, Souček sitting, and then Safal, Schultz, Provod and Dojera with Schick alongside Kuchta up front. The Czechs in all white have got the second half underway. They're kicking from right to left. First 2 minutes of the first half, far and away the Czechs' best 2 minutes of the game so far. They're trying to get on the front foot from the kick-off of this half as well. Portugal have got possession. The referee has allowed them the advantage after a foul near the edge of the penalty area. The Czechs get it back almost straight away, but Nuno Mendes then gets on the end of a poor touch from Kuchta. And this time the referee is going to stop play and give a free kick Portugal's way as Rafael Leao was brought to the ground. A minute into the second half, you win TalkSport. Portugal completely dominant in the first half, nothing to show for it. It's 0-0 as Bernardo Silva makes his way forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Down towards Diogo Dalot. Dalot onto his left foot, trying his luck. Couldn't get it to dip quickly enough. And it hits the crane with the camera on behind the goal as it crashes into the very wet hoardings behind that goal away to our right-hand side. It's 0-0 here on TalkSport, and alongside me, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, even in this brief opening of the second half, the Czechs have given it away on 2 or 3 occasions too cheaply, and Portugal just looking maybe the odd long shot. Certainly conditions, the pace of the ball certainly lends itself to shots from distance.
There's a player down injured over on the far touchline for Portugal. There's Nuno Mendes that's just been caught. They've got attacking options on the bench. Gonzalo Ramos, who has got a World Cup hat-trick behind him. Diogo Jota, who scored in the last meeting of these two. Pedro Neto and Paco Conceição as well. So 4 really good attacking options that they can call upon. You would imagine that you'll see 2 or 3 of them. Very rare that Portugal don't score a goal in a game. Have netted in all but one of the last 15. The blank that they had, a 2-0 defeat to Slovenia back in March. Well, they've given it away here at the back. Nuno Mendes able to continue after that injury that he picked up, but it was an injudicious touch. Portugal have won it back, and Bruno Fernandes has got it and can drive forward again. To his right-hand side, he's got Bernardo Silva. Ronaldo was in an offside position. Silva can cross the ball in and win a corner. First of the second half, and normal services resumed straight after the half-time interval.
Yeah, they've just not been clinical enough, the Portuguese, and if I was probably sat here as a Portuguese fan, I would say, reach for the bench, let's mix things up a little bit, and I would suggest it'll be sooner rather than later.
Corner, like a couple of the previous ones, taken short, and then Staniak was off his line. Vitinha flying one inside the penalty area, and his reaction suggests it was actually a miss-hit cross, but the goalkeeper was backpedaling pretty quickly, and it's sailed over him and his goal. Now to play for a goal kick. 3.5 minutes gone in the Leipzig rain at 0-0.
Yeah, there's no let up in this rain. It's coming down solid. Pitch is holding up very well, though. That's a good thing.
Well, it's not coming down solid, it's coming down liquid. Diaz and Pepe towards Bruno Fernandes. It comes down solid, we're all in trouble. Then the roof. The ball played back inside the penalty area will be cleared by Diogo Costa. Headed out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Portuguese left. Talked about how the Czechs need to retain the ball a lot more. Now the passing needs to improve, but what Portugal need to do, is it just a question of keep banging against the door and sooner or later it's going to cave in?
Well, that I would say would be the case if it wasn't for the fact I don't think Portugal, I don't know what their XG is, but I don't think they've created, for all their superiority and freedom of movement in and around the Czechs' final third, they've not created many clear-cut chances.
And they find themselves on the back foot here. Kuchta Miranda down towards Schick. Schick controlling it on the left-hand side of the penalty area, and he sends in a cross-come shot that was completely innocuous, drilled with real power and intent, but way over the top right-hand corner and out of play for a goal kick. The answer to your question, XG-wise, 0.74 for Portugal through 50 minutes of 75% possession.
Yeah, probably tells you exactly everything. No idea. Quite often I watch a player and I know whether he's crossing it, whether he's not crossing it, whether he's shooting. With Schick there, I had absolutely no chance of working out exactly what he was attempting to do. I must be honest.
Remains goalless with Bajera in possession for the Czechs. He's facing his own goal for a moment, works the ball down towards the left-hand touchline. Slight stumble that he recovers well from. He's able to feed Thomas Souček. He's got more than 200 games for West Ham behind him now. He can get it back to his goalkeeper, who will clear towards halfway, where Portugal again can get their foot on the ball with Vitinha, who's done well tonight. He's been very busy, effervescent around the midfield. That was almost given away in the midfield area by João Cancelo, but poor pass was very quickly remedied, and Cristiano Ronaldo has it now. 208th cap for him tonight, 130 goals in his international career, just 5 short of 900 for club and country. Dalot putting his foot in to win it back. Vitinha goes to ground. He's been fouled. And it's a free kick on halfway. Stayed down as well. The bearded former Wolves midfielder just holding his right ankle, but he's getting back very slowly up onto his knees and then onto his feet, and is able to continue without any treatment. Bernardo Silva's got it. Chance for him to run at De Gea, turning him one way then the other, and he's gone for a left-footed shot that didn't get enough spin on it, nothing like enough spin. He started it way too wide, and it goes straight out of play, and it's a couple of umbrella-clad camera operators down in front of the hoardings away to the right-hand side. It remains 0-0 here on TalkSport.
I must say, Jim, I don't think I've seen a team give the ball away as much, being seeded as high up the rankings as the Czechs as I've seen tonight. I think they've been horrific. I really do, giving the ball away. And you've got to go down to the teams in the 100 plus, I think, to give the ball away. They'll be disappointed with what they've done with the ball in possession.
They're ranked 36 in the world on the FIFA list. We often talk about the yellow ratings as something that might actually be a little bit more accurate. They're a bit higher in that. They're up to 26 in that. Portugal, just for reference, 6 in both lists. Trying to put the pressure on now. Alanach, who's sweeping up for the Czechs, can get it away. Brought down by Souček in the midfield, but it just counted off his right thigh. I'm still not sure that he's moving with a great degree of freedom, Thomas Souček, but he's still out there. Ronaldo with another little step over, but De Gea could poke the ball away. The respite is very, very temporary. Portugal end up bringing it forward. Nuno Mendes, and Schultz puts it out of play for a throw that will be taken by Rafa Leao over on the far touchline. This is the 4th meeting of these two sides at the Euros. Portugal beating the Czechs 1-0 in 2012 with a Ronaldo goal, and also in the group stage in 2008 he scored that day as well, a 3-1 victory in Geneva. Karol Poborski had scored the winner, a spectacular winner, when the two sides met at Villa Park in 1996. Only goal of that particular game. Pepe's got the ball at the back. Plays it back to his goalkeeper, Diogo Costa. Veteran of more than 150 appearances for Porto. Now Bernardo Silva. Just club teammate Ruben Dias. Still the possession so easy to come by for Portugal. Able to string the passes together. They've had more than 500 of them in the game. Just need to mix it up and try and do something a little bit different in order to make this possession count. Dalot made a good early run trying to get around the back of De Gea, but the ball wasn't forthcoming. It's the Czech fans around us that you can hear, and again just bobbing up and down, just giving a slightly seasick feel to those watching the crowd, encouraging their side in this rearguard action. Bernardo Silva's got possession, level the edge of the penalty area. Let's pull it back for Vitinha. Vitinha in towards Dalot. Dalot, Ruben Dias, Vitinha. Dalot makes another early run. That's creating space for Ruben Dias on the right flank. Ball inside the penalty area, and the header goes over the bar from Ronaldo. Deflected on its way through, though. It is a corner.
Yeah, I think Holesh has got a really solid head on that. Between the pair of them, I think Holesh might have just got first contact potentially. No, I think you're right. It was a really good positional play by Holesh and managed to deflect Ronaldo's header that was on target.
Corner number 10, and Bruno Fernandes will take it. 10 minutes into the second half here on TalkSport. Swung inside the box, Pepe attacking it, headed away. And out of the right-hand side of the penalty area where the centre-half, Krejci, can bring it further clear. Portugal get it straight back again. Bruno Fernandes on the corner of the penalty area. Right-footed ball clipped in. Oh, that looked like Ronaldo's moment, and it was just nodded away from him before it got to him. Here they come again on the left-hand side of the area. Cancelo chipping that in. Goalkeeper paddles it away. And then it's cleared by Provod. Can't get it to halfway. The goal's coming. The goal is definitely coming.
If you want to know the value of Thomas Souček to any football team, he's cleared the first one away with his header. And the second one, he's took it off the head of Ronaldo, where it was a certain goal if he didn't.
Ronaldo was waiting, feet off the ground, just beginning to power his way through the air, and the ball just flicked out of his flight path at the last possible moment by Souček. Here's Ruben Dias for Portugal inside his own half. They've reached the last 8 in 7 of the last 8 tournaments. Portugal, really good record in the Euros. Czechs themselves, though, have got out of the group stage in 4 of the last 7 tournaments, which is creditable itself. Coutinho just putting the ball forward over halfway. Another real loud thunderclap is heard as the weather threatens to roll in again. Bernardo Silva towards the edge of the penalty area. Layoff from him for Coutinho, who's been heavily involved. He can take it on this time. It'll give and go around the edge of the penalty area. Fernandes worked it to his left for Ronaldo. Didn't come in towards him, and then they get a free kick for a foul on João Cancelo. 7 yards outside the penalty area in a central position. And a yellow card is shown to Patrick Schick.
Yeah, it's in a decent position. See, there's enough decent free kick takers in the ranks of the Portuguese outfit here to cause a big problem if they get this on target.
Well, clearly Cristiano Ronaldo is going to fancy it. Bruno Fernandes in consultation with him. All other potentially interested parties making their way away. Yuri Staniek, the goalkeeper, is just down on his haunches by his right-hand post. Is this Ronaldo's moment? He has scored in 10 successive major international tournaments. Hits it right-footed and straight at Staniek. Juggled it a little bit. It was a comfortable save. The wet ball squirmed out of his grasp for a moment, and he got the ball up, actually past the wall rather than over it, but straight down the middle of the goal, really.
Yeah, the fact that he went round the wall gives the goalkeeper every chance just to slide across. He spilled it first off, but managed to get hold of it, but needed to go up and down, really.
So it remains 0-0. We're just short of the hour mark. Tomorrow morning, TalkSport breakfast live from London and Dusseldorf. Alan Brazil and Dean Saunders bringing you the show from 6 tomorrow morning. Frankie Vittori, Dame Laura Davis, and a number of other high-profile guests on the show for you tomorrow. Ball inside the area. Bernardo Silva might have done better. Ronaldo waiting for the pullback by the penalty spot, but the cross was blocked to put out a play for a corner.
Well, I've got to say, desperate defending at the back there, but great defending all the same from Bernardo Silva as a temp cross. Alan
Arch did really well. Got himself into the line of fire. Corner again, worked short, clipped in. Ruben Dias going up for it. And Souček volleys it clear. Rain harder now than ever. Left-footed clearance towards halfway. Diogo Dalot's got it. Can't remember the last time the Czechs had a touch of the ball in Portuguese territory. It was about 7-8 minutes ago. Rafael Leao trying to drive it across. That is blocked. Now a deeper ball in. Too high for Vitinha. Bounces once inside the penalty area and rolls away from a frustrated Bernardo Silva, who haired after him. But the bearded Manchester City man couldn't get there in time. Well, the Czechs haven't had much of the ball. They've had plenty of chasing to do, and they're going to rotate the pack. They're going to take Kuchta off, and they're going to bring on Ondřej Linga, who spent this season on loan at Feyenoord, where every appearance he made was as a substitute. And I think they're also going to take Patrick Schick off. And it looks like Mojmír Chytil of Slavia Prague is going to be coming on. So Linga and Chytil for Schick and Kuchta, a striker and an attacking midfielder for a pair of strikers.
Well, as I say, at this moment in time, the Czechs are operating like a team about 6 divisions below in an FA Cup final at the moment. A rearguard action, showing not much competence in keeping the ball, but they are dogged and they are still in the game.
And they've got to the hour mark. 0-0, what they would give for this to end 0-0. Another game in this group earlier today, Turkey beating Georgia by 3-1. Tomorrow, a Croatian defeat to Albania could see them become the first side to be eliminated. They meet at 2 tomorrow, that game live on TalkSport 2. And after that, the second match is from Group A. Scotland facing the Swiss at 8, trying to bounce back from that opening day defeat. And Germany take on Hungary at 5 before that. And both of those Group A games are live on TalkSport tomorrow, with England on Thursday kicking off at 5 on TalkSport in Frankfurt against Denmark. The Czechs bringing the ball forward here. A little flick header goes through the penalty area, but it's going to be kept in by De Gea. His cross in towards the penalty spot's headed clear. Safal can pick that up. He's still inside the penalty area, setting it up for a right-footed effort that goes into the bottom left-hand corner from Lucas Provod. It is floodlight robbery. 62 minutes gone. Portugal, the better side all over the field. The Czechs have hardly had a sighted goal, but have scored. Lucas Provod with the goal. Brilliantly taken strike. It's Portugal 0, Czechia 1.
Well, I've got to say, you think you've seen everything. This is quite incredible. They've not been in Portugal's half for, 35 minutes at least. And they managed to get in there, ball's a corner, the ball's coming. Kufel had the presence of mind to roll it back, and Provod just guided it into the far corner off the far post. And the substitutes maybe a little bit too late for Portugal. Potentially they're on their way.
That's a sensational finish. I know that Alvin Martin in commentary earlier said the goal of the tournament award was pretty much over after the second Turkey goal. This is a contender. I'm saying it's any better, it's a contender. So changes being made by the Portuguese. And Diogo Jota is on, and so too Gonçalo Inácio. They've taken off Dalot and Rafael Leao. So Jota on, scored in the last meeting in the 2, which was a 4-0 victory for the Portuguese. And on the balance of play tonight, if this had ended 4-0, nobody would have been too surprised. It isn't going to end 4-0 now, not to Portugal anyway. 1-0 to Czechia. Lucas Provod with the goal. Sometimes you just have one of those fortunate nights. Defensively, they've been hanging in there and have nicked one going the other way. They've given a free kick away here. The substitute Chytil, the striker who's just come on, giving a free kick away for handball. So Gonçalo Inácio on a centre half, and Diogo Jota has come on the left of the front three. Diaz. And Nuno Mendes has made his way a little bit further forward down the left-hand side now. So it's an attack-minded change that has been made by Roberto Martinez. Pepe. Little layoff through the midfield. Bruno Fernandes just got caught there. He was able to dispense with the ball before hopping away in a little bit of pain. He's got it again now, Fernandes. He's chipped it to his left-hand side. Opportunity to try and work the ball inside the penalty area has been passed up. And Hittil can try and bring it away. An outlet, he can get the ball to stick pretty well. The drive forward, but was eventually stopped by Inacio. And Portugal will bring it back under control inside their own half, working for Bernardo Silva, but past him. And the balance of the game isn't going to change, but now that the Czechs have something tangible to protect.
Well, it's been unbelievable. Hittil there was on the breakaway, was like a freight train out of control. 3 players eventually managed to bring him down like a wildebeest. And to be quite honest with you, the Portuguese have paid the penalty for not really testing the Czech goal, have they, for the duration of this game.
Yeah, it was like an out-of-control freight train, but it's Portugal that are having the points failure at the moment. Provod, the goal scorer, has just been caught. There's a little bit of anger. Ronaldo waves the imaginary yellow card, and that is supposed to be... Actually, I might have done him a disservice. I think he's indicating that there was a high boot as opposed to waving a yellow card. I apologise. Just saying that the hand and the foot were up. The referee, Marco Guida, not having that. Jota had raised his boot high. He actually caught Provod on the top of the head. I think a free kick awarded for dangerous play is more than fair enough.
Yeah, I think he committed to put his foot up before the player put his head into the situation that he did.
Portugal 0, Czechia 1. And it would be a shock even if you haven't seen any of the game. It is utterly inconceivable if you have seen and listened to the game. But they're nearly 3/4 of the way to getting the job done. We're just shy of the midway stage of the second half here on Talk Sport. After us, Carl Cole and Jamie O'Hara taking your calls on the Sports Bar from 10:30. Have your say on 03717 22 33 44. Czechs are on the front foot again. Safal trying to get the ball inside the penalty area, but Portugal can get it away towards halfway. Ronaldo's the out ball. Really good header by Haranach, climbing above him to get it clear. He's making his competitive debut today, only his 4th cap. He's done all right.
Yeah, listen, from putting a shift in and working for your team, every Czech player has been absolutely spot on tonight. I've got to say, yes, they've fallen down technically, giving the ball away and made their own job harder, but they won't mind that. They're 1-0 up and they've got something to hang on to, Jim.
Bernardo Silva's got the ball in the midfield and finds Pepe. Sorry, Stu.
What are your thoughts on the Portuguese? You've seen them, you've had a decent look at them at the moment in regard to going all the way in this tournament.
I don't think they will go all the way. I think that I still expect them to win this group. Even if they lose this game, I still think that they would win the group, because I think that the other 3 teams will take points off each other. Turkey might fancy their chance, but I think that Portugal would win the next 2 games. They would finish top of the group. They would then get a side that would finish 3rd in their group. I think they'd win that. I'd fancy them against one of the group runners-up in the quarterfinals, because that's their draw, but I don't think they win a semi-final against real top-class opposition. Here's Bernardo Silva. Ball chipped inside the penalty area, is headed away. It gets towards halfway, where it's picked up by Ruben Diaz. 68 gone, 1-0 Czechia leader with Vitinha in possession. Down towards Joao Cancelo. I don't think you could look at this and say that they got major problems. This is just one of those games. They win this 19 times out of 20, the way that the game has developed tonight, and might still win it, of course. Here's Bernardo Silva now, right-hand side of the box. Gets it onto his left foot, pulls it back, clips inside the air by Vitinha. Headed down, Ronaldo's trying to get there to bundle it over the line, and it is in for an equalising goal. I think Haranach has got the last touch. Nuno Mendes with a header. Stanier couldn't get there, and as Nuno Mendes wheels away and takes the plaudits, Portugal are back on level terms.
Well, really scrappy there. Ball laid back. Bernardo Silva whips into the far post. Good header back. Oh, and the goalkeeper's parried it onto his defender. Oh, that's poor goalkeeping. No wonder he's hanging his head. He just parried it into the knees of the on-rushing defender, and it's ended up in the back of the net. You've got to catch that.
Well, he pushed the ball away, made no attempt to catch it. It wasn't as though it came out of his grasp, and he's literally pushed it into the left boot of the retreating Robin Haranach, and it's gone past him and in. And it's 1-1, and the lead lasted for 7 minutes. 20 minutes for Portugal to get the deserved victory from here, Stuart.
Well, I think the momentum is in their corner now. I think they've been gifted a goal, I really do. Credit to them, they popped the ball in the box and kept it alive at the back post, but the goalkeeper will be very, very disappointed with his attempt at clearing it.
Provod on 62, Haranach with an own goal on 69. It is one apiece with 20 minutes to go here on Talk Sport. And Ruben Dias can bring the ball out from the back for Portugal. I feel that they deserved a little bit of luck. They got a fair bit there. It's poor goalkeeper. Coutinho. Sending a long ball out towards the left-hand side for Nuno Mendes, who's won a throw midway inside the Czech half. Back for Pepe. And now Coutinho can bring the ball forward again through the centre circle. 14 attempts to 3 in Portugal's favour. Only 3 shots on target, though, will be a concern for Roberto Martinez. A goal coming from an own goal. Bernardo Silva, right back towards halfway for Ruben Dias. Dias inside his own half for Pepe. Pepe's midway between the edge of the penalty area and the halfway line as he turns and plays it forward for Bernardo Silva again. Now down towards Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes looking up. Czech defenders just backing off him. He tried to thread the ball through for a good run for Cancelo down the right-hand side of the area, but that was knocked away, and Hitil will launch it, but he is the outball. Just trying to play it forward, hoping that somebody was going to make an electrifying run forward. They weren't. Portugal have won it back and are now attacking with real intent towards the edge of the penalty area again. Safar's given it away inside the box, and that a shot from Bernardo Silva that hits Staniek rather than anything else, but he's in the right position to make the save. It's come off his upper body and goes out for a Portuguese throw.
Poor giveaway of possession there, and Staniek just held his ground, lifted his right arm up. I didn't think he had time to react to it, but got a good solid barrier in the way.
Staniek, Slavia Prague goalkeeper, who was once on the books of Everton and had a brief loan spell at Hyde United in the Northern Premier League. And tonight, playing in the Euros. Still just a 1 international clean sheet to his name, and he'll be frustrated that is the case. He's played a major part in the fact that he couldn't keep a clean sheet tonight, dealing with the header that came in from Nuno Mendes, just pushing it straight into the nearest defender. There's nothing that either of them could do about it from there. Czechs have got a free kick now, 15 yards inside their own half. 1-1 here in Leipzig on TalkSport with 17 minutes to go. And Ronaldo chasing a ball that's played back towards the edge of the penalty area, then applying the pressure on Staniek. Long clearance from Yuri Staniek, headed down by Pepe. Czechs trying to make their way forward again, but it's cleared by Ruben Dias towards halfway, past the foul, and bounces over the hoardings, almost down the tunnel for a throw which will be taken over on the Czech right-hand side.
Yeah, the game just taking a semi-breather at the moment, but this game, I can't see the Czechs getting their nose in front. I didn't know where their only goal come from, if I'm being honest with you. But it's all about now, can Portugal push on and win the game?
Bajera. Just trying to slide the ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. A reminder, 03717222344 is the number that gets you through to the sports bar here on TalkSport, starting at 10 o'clock tonight at the conclusion of this game. What will the boys be talking about? A Portugal come from behind victory, More resolute defensive action from the Czechs that earns then a positive result, and another game against top 50 opposition that Portugal won't have won. Remember, they've got an indifferent record in matches, certainly against sides in the top 30 in the ELO rankings. They've received a free kick here, which Czechs will take inside the centre circle. Ondrej Linga winning the free kick, spotting the ball down. Provod, the goal scorer, working it back for Holeš, and the ball sent down the right-hand touchline for Safala, beg your pardon. They are trying to be a little bit more adventurous now. Pepe ends up on the deck. Portugal will bring it forward again, in towards Ronaldo. Might have been offside, and anything developed from that, and now the flag does come up. He should have been a linesman, Stuart. He called that absolutely spot on.
Well, actually, seeing you bring the subject up, I am a qualified referee. I qualified when I was 21.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. The Harrow Referee Society.
You ever thought about?
No.
I understand that. Don't want left backs in your ear all the time, do you? There's going to be more changes for the Czechs in a moment. Barak and Sevčík are going to be coming on. So another double change to be made by Czech coach Ivan Hašek. And I'll try to be a little bit more adventurous and a bit more attacking endeavour than we've seen at any time previously from the Czechs. I mean, everything is relative. It's not a particularly high bar. But they are trying to get forward in a position that they might be able to make something happen. Buoyed by the fact that they have scored 1-1 the score. They led for 7 minutes. Portugal take them back 7 minutes ago. Throw taken short towards Lucas Provod. Over the edge of the Portuguese box. Big appeals from the Czech fans. Had a good view of that. There was a handball, but when eventually play stops, it's because the ball's gone out of play for a throw that will be taken by the Portuguese left-side defender Nuno Mendes. Mendes with the ball in his hands. Still the Czechs not making the changes just yet. Two midfielders, central midfielders, the players that are going to be coming on, including Petr Sevčík, who featured in all 5 games at Euro 2020, but has hardly seen the light of day in international football in recent times. He was not in the original squad for this tournament, but called up because of an injury to his compatriot Mikar Sadliak. Diogo Costa can bring the ball forward outside his penalty area. 1-1 with 13 minutes to go.
It's interesting, we talked about before the game about the pressure to play Ronaldo, you know, and how that divided opinion with the Portuguese. Interesting, the pressure to keep him on the pitch as well when you need a goal.
Yep, he's still on with 13 minutes left. And the likes of Pedro Neto and Gonzalo Ramos, probably more significantly to be called upon if needed, is Bruno Fernandes now. In towards the feet of Ronaldo. Ronaldo just coming outside the penalty area. Low shot comes in. Goalkeeper spilling that one as well, tipping it away to his right, but able to get it safely away from Coutinho's effort and out for a corner.
Yeah, as I say, Stanic at the moment is not looking to hold too much, looking to parry everything away.
Well, plenty of rain has come down. It's a very wet and greasy ball and a greasy top surface as well. Corner to be taken from the Portuguese left-hand side. Ronaldo again waiting next to Pepe by the penalty spot. 80 years between them. Near post movement comes from Nuno Mendes. It's actually sending deep and behind everybody and curves away from Cancelo and out for a throw that will be taken on the Czech left, and now they will make those 2 changes. So we'll see Barak and Sevčík come on. The first player to be replaced will be Provod. It may well be Schultz who'll come off as well. It is. So 2 central midfielders replaced by 2 more, just fresh legs coming on for the last 12 minutes or so. Provod and Schultz off, and Barak, the Fiorentina man who scored in the last 2 internationals, will come on along with Petr Sevčík, who hasn't played for his country for 15 months. They will restart with a throw to the Czechs in their left-back position down by their own corner flag. 1-1 the score. Final 10 minutes approaching. Portugal, after the complete dominance that they've shown, will be hugely disappointed if they can't win this, despite the fact that they conceded first. Nuno Mendes has got it, the PSG defender. Just turning, trying to get away from Barak, who was in there with good aggression, a little shove in the back of his opponent after the ball had gone. Now worked out towards Inacio. Inacio clipping it towards the edge of the penalty area here for Bruno Fernandes for Portugal, are getting the bodies forward quickly. Fernandes with a lovely little check, and then he chips it in, and Ronaldo attacks him, but doesn't get there. Really good defensive header, puts it away. Strong defensive contribution from Krejci. Out of play for another corner that they're looking to take quickly. They've rolled it short towards Bernardo Silva. Back for Fernandes again. Low cross comes in, takes a deflection. Safar clears out towards the far touchline where Barak has been fouled. And it's a free kick to the Czechs inside their own half with 10 to go at 1-1 on TalkSport. I've
got to say, what a wonderful header by Krejci there. Just going back towards his own goal almost. He's managed to crane his neck and get first contact in front of Ronaldo.
Now the free kick given against Bruno Fernandes here for the boot being raised too high. Almost into the face of Barak. No contact made. Portugal next in action. Live on TalkSport Saturday, they're in Dortmund. They take on Turkey in a match that you would imagine will decide who's going to win this group. And the Czechs still have something to say about that. They're inside the penalty area now. A little layoff, and the left-footed shot is blocked. Another shot from distance goes wide of the far post. Well worth an attempt from Souček, but he didn't get hold of it, and it remains 1-1.
Well, they've not had too many efforts at the goal, but when they do, their fans are off their feet and fearing, well, certainly from Portugal's point of view, fearing another goal. They haven't got much reply time now.
8.5 left. Vitinha, Bruno Fernandes, not a big stack of stoppage time either. Ronaldo made a run but wanted the ball to be played early. Vitinha didn't play it early, he had to peel back out. The ball worked down the right hand side of the area. Cancelo is more lightning is visible and tries to play that ball down the right hand side of the penalty area for Bernardo Silva. The Czechs thought that they'd been able to defend that but couldn't get it out of play for a throw, and it comes back again. Vitinha's ball in, Bruno Fernandes stretches and can't reach it, and Barak's going to be able to clear. Now worked forward by Dojera into the feet of Ševčík. The Czechs on the edge of their own penalty area with Haranac, and then clear towards halfway but straight out for a throw that will be taken on the Portuguese left, and they nicked a good few yards in taking that. Short into the feet of Ronaldo. 1-1 here on TalkSport, which will leave Turkey 2 points clear at the top of the group. Now the Czechs potentially with a chance on the counter-attack. Not an opportunity that they could make the most of. Hitil doing well to read the initial situation. Ball played for by Krejci, but he couldn't find the striker, didn't come close to doing so.
Krejci's done brilliant there in intercepting the ball, drove forward and then played the pass way too soon. You've got to drive with the ball, give Hitil the opportunity to get into a decent position.
And it remains one apiece. Hugely entertaining game despite the goalless hour. 2 goals in 7 minutes, one at either end, one very much against the run of play, and an own goal to equalise for Portugal to bring us to this point with 7 to go at 1 apiece. And Cancelo stood no chance of getting on the end of a misdirected long ball from Pepe, and it's out for a goal kick which will be taken by the Czechs. So they take on Georgia next in Hamburg on Saturday, before staying in Hamburg for the conclusion against Turkey a week tomorrow. Portugal's last game against Georgia in Gelsenkirchen. We'll have both of those for you live on the TalkSport network. All 51 games covered for you right here. Bruno Fernandes working the ball forward, look for Ronaldo. It was cleared by Holesh, who then gets it away a second time. Inacio forced to retrace his steps on the edge of his own penalty area, can run round the ball, and the young bearded defender plays it towards Pepe, some 19 years his senior, to his right-hand side. Pepe had left school by the time that Inacio was born. They got it forward towards Nuno Mendes. Now down the line. Sliding challenge by Haranach was missed. But coming across behind him, Holesh was able to effect the block and get it away from Jota.
Well, I've got to say, Jim, there's such a level of genuineness in this Czech side, but they do make mistakes, and they have to rectify their mistakes, and they do that with genuineness and work ethic and togetherness, and sometimes that takes you a long way.
Have only lost one of the last 14, which was a qualifying match in Albania. They were beaten 3-0. Finished second in the group behind Albania as a result of that, but qualified. Portugal at the moment in danger of extending a poor record. They've won their opening game in only 3 of the last 8 Euros. They're on the back foot here just for a moment. Barak trying to cause problems, couldn't work the ball inside the penalty area. It should be cleared by Bruno Fernandes, in danger of getting caught in possession. He has been by Barak. Coming back outside the box, he's done well, the long-legged Czech midfielder, wearing 7. And he turns it to his right-hand side for Ševčík. Work forward, down the right-hand touchline for the Czechs. Safal. A little flick forward from Vitinha. Portugal can't hold the ball up towards halfway, but Bernardo Silva was fouled. Then the ball kicked away by Krejci. The referee points at him and waves an admonishing finger rather than brandishing a yellow card. 4 to go. And 4 at the most in terms of stoppage time, I would think.
Yeah, the game's flowed pretty much, not been too many stoppage, and we've got a bit more movement now, Jim, from the Portuguese bench. Looks too little too late, maybe wrong.
Yeah, they've only made 2 changes so far, and another 3 are imminent. Bernardo Silva, right for the ball, curved inside the penalty area for Ronaldo, off the post and in at the second attempt by Jota. They have turned it around. Portuguese ecstasy amidst the Czech heartbreak and frustration. Ronaldo climbing high, sending his header off the inside of the post. Jota the quickest to react. With 20 minutes to go, they trailed. Now, pending a VAR check for offside, they lead it 2-1.
Well, what a game. A wonderful ball in. Ronaldo's header smashing off the post. Oh, and this is tight. This is tight. Ronaldo might have just strayed offside.
He has.
Wow. What a game. Incredible. I mean, it's a fantastic header come off the post, and you've got to give Jota so much credit for craning his neck and finishing it off, but it just strayed marginally offside.
Once the ball had gone in the net, there was a big skirmish as well. 3 or 4 Portuguese players following the ball into the net. Staniek was down there. There were words and pushes and shoves. But the goal is disallowed for Ronaldo being offside, not for Jota on the follow-up. So it's still 1-1 with 2 minutes to go. Will either side be able to score what surely will be the all-important 3rd goal of the night? Free kick to Portugal inside their own half. They're still waiting to make the triple change. Vitinha works the ball down for João Cancelo. Back from him to Ruben Dias. Pepe out of the left-hand side. Inacio sending it forward. Nuno Mendes chases after it. Holesh is going to get there first and then forced to diving down by the corner flag to dig it clear. Safar will be able to play it further forward. Barak tucks it back infield for him. He almost lost it as a result of that, but eventually, albeit that there was a cheeky little shove from Jota, ball has gone to safety for the Czechs and out of play for a goal kick. The Ronaldo offside is just being shown on the big screen. It was his head that was marginally, and I mean marginally, too far forward. I think his left knee just about offside as well.
Well, you've got to say, over the 90 minutes, Ronaldo's certainly probably been the one Portuguese player who's probably had the most efforts.
So the changes can now be made. Vitinha off, and Pedro Neto is going to come on to replace him. There seems to be a fair bit of uncertainty about exactly who's coming on for who. Cancelo makes way, and the Wolves man Nelson Semedo comes on for him. And Paco Conceição, whose father played in the Euros back in the day, Sergio, is also on. So the change is made, 30 seconds of normal time to go, still time for either side to turn 1 point into 3, but it's going to be late and dramatic. If it happens now, it will be a stoppage time winner. 1-1.
It certainly will. This has been, well, an incredible opener in this group.
Czechs inside the penalty area again. Haven't been there too often. When they do get there, they cause problems. Portugal can get it clear. Conceição hooking it forward. Ronaldo thought it was foul play. Goes on. The Czechs have won it back on the right hand side with Safal, trying to beat the first challenge. Deflected cross inside the penalty area, dug clear by the Portuguese back line. Only as far as Krejci. Tall, dark-haired centre half. Play down the left-hand touchline. De Gea working forward towards another one of the substitutes, Barak, and then De Gea is pushed over off the ball by Semedo. Referee says no foul. Heard the yelp of pain from here. It's gone out for a goal kick, and that's been taken quickly. And we're in stoppage time. 4 minutes added, but this will cause a further delay for the foul, or the shove, coming together between Nelson Semedo and De Gea, that the referee was happy wasn't a foul. Semedo off the ball.
Yeah, it was a foul, and it was obstruction. Semedo stopped the run.
So about 3.5 minutes of stoppage time still to go at 1-1. Jota chasing after a ball, play down the left-hand side. Pedro Neto has got it. Neto's ball inside the area, taking deflection. Conceição, with almost his first touch, wins it for Portugal. And this time the jubilation has substance. The Czechs were bouncing after taking the lead against a run of play, but Ronaldo and co cash in with Conceição stoppage time winner. Portugal 2, Czechia 1.
Well, the Czechs probably had the strongest part of their play further up the pitch a couple of moments earlier, and probably switched off a little bit mentally, defensively. They lost the ball on the left-hand side and then failed to clear in their own box, and it was ended up being an easy sweep into the goal from close range. Oh, it was poor defending once again.
And two players who've just come off the bench combining. Conceição working it into the net after Neto's cross. And it was Haddon Arch that just couldn't deal with it. A yellow card for Conceição from the referee for the removal of his shirt in celebrating the goal. Conceição, whose father scored a hat-trick against Germany in Euro 2000, and he scores his first ever international goal on German soil 24 years later, and it's worth 2 points to him, almost certainly. The Czechs will now make a change. Hollish, the centre half, off, and striker Hori comes on to replace him. So they're flattened off to a back four, the Czechs, and there's probably about 2 minutes to go. They will send it forward into Portuguese territory, but the men in red are there to be able to win it back. Not for long. Souček getting it forward inside the area. Ball worked in towards Hitil and cleared. Out for Barak. Portugal haven't won this yet. Barak clipping it in, left-footed and looping header, just wide. But it wouldn't have counted because the flag was up. What a second half.
Well, I've got to say, Barak's offered a level of composure on the football that's been missing from the Czech team, and he was the one who flipped that ball up to the far post, and the Portuguese hearts were in their mouth. They've got their nose in front now, and I think there's not enough time for them to lose this lead.
Well, 4 minutes of time was stipulated. We've had an injury and we've had a lengthy celebration following the goal. We've now played 4 minutes, so your guess is as good as mine, but maybe another 75 seconds. 2-1 to Portugal, who lead for the first time tonight. They had the ball in the net, they thought they'd won it. 3 minutes later, after that one was chalked off for offside, they surely have. To throw to Portugal on halfway. Right in front of the Leipzig side. Leipzig treated to an absolute belter. First up in the Euros tonight. Ronaldo chasing, can't get there. It's going to be one back. Now one back effectively in the midfield by Sevcik. Launches it long, looking for Hittil or Hori. Can't find either of them. The ball goes through for Diogo Costa. All eyes on referee Marco Guida. There was a whistle there, but it came from the crowd. Slammed forward by the goalkeeper. Let the celebrations begin. They got away with it, Portugal. They played pretty well. But when they conceded after an hour of domination, their hearts would have been in their mouths. 7 minutes later, an own goal got them back in the game. Ronaldo played a part in what Portugal thought was going to be a winner. That one ruled out for offside. Only for young Francisco Conceição to come off the bench and score with just about his first touch of the night. A thriller in Leipzig. What a first week we've had in the Euros. Portugal 2, Czechia 1, and you heard every twist and turn live on TalkSport.